Hari Om. Bhagavan is answering the question of Arjuna. Sthita prajnak ka bhasha, sthitadihi ki prabhashyat. So this bhasha and prabhashyat has been answered so far. And apparently an innocently looking word, kim asit. Asana is to sit. Asit is to sit. Asana, the place where you sit. When the question is asked by Arjuna, how does he sit? That means he's not interested in knowing the posture or the yoga, asana or something. He wants to know how does he behave. Sit amongst the world, sitting amongst the world's various objects and subjects. How does he behave? And the answer to that is given in this 61st shloka. Tani sarvani niyamya. The first criteria of a realized soul is Tani sarvani, Sati Saptami. Tani sarvani, those all. That means the karmendriyas as well as the jnanendriyas. Sayamya. Sayamya, samyakena yamyate. Yam is a primary rule. Any primary rule, absolute primary rule is called yama. A secondary rule is called niyama. Satyam vada, primary rule. Secondary rule, under apad dharma, depending upon the situation, you may resort to, those are all niyamas. Inviolable, absolute foundational aspect of a concrete rule is yamya. So that means inevitability is presumed in that. So yogi sthita prajna, first thing he sits in this world or is present in this world constantly with tani sarvani sayamya, all indriyas. Is it that only he sits just by withdrawing the indriyas? Then it will be just sitting for no noble cause. And that is why the second half of the verse is purely Hindu in nature. And the first half of verse can be either Hindu or can be a Western outlook towards it. That's why Swamiji has aptly referred to Sigmund Freud. Repression, repressing is something different. It has a negative connotation. I have given up my job, which was paying me 4,000. It's a very sad state of affairs. But moment I put another proviso to that statement, because I got a job of 10,000 dirhams, immediately it sounds better. That is how Tani sarvani sanyamya yuktam asita matparaha. I have given up everything because I have received something which is far superior and higher. That is the combination that Gurudev is specifically pointing at. That's why he says it is not a mental separation at all. If you look at our own sadhana, we do see precisely the same thing. No. I want to be away from him. Today is Ekadashi. I should not be eating. I should not be eating. I should not be eating. My fast is there. And then immediately we'll ask, what is allowed in Upavas? Mental separation leads to that. If Lord's chanting on the day of Ekadashi is giving me more pleasure than the food that I may have, then only the Ekadashi will be purer in nature, because no interest in the food. Why? Lord's taste of Lord's name has come on in the mouth. The combination of giving up and attaining higher, that only can lead to the success. We gave a motorbike not because we did not like it, because we got car. Higher, this is Satishaya Sukham. So once the one who has a Niratishaya Sukham, Prapti of Bhagavan himself, Ishvara Koti, has no reason whatsoever to get involved again into Indriya Gochara Sukham. That is why the one who has done this, the Indriyas of him are in a very funny way behaving. Normally, Indriyas pull the Jiva towards the object. So virtually they are dragging the Jiva towards the object. But in case of Sthita Prajna, the Indriyas are subjugated by the Jiva. So what they are doing is, they themselves are Kamatura. One of the meaning of Vasha in Veda, if we look at it in Nirukta, the meaning of Vasha, the word Vasha means Kamatura, Trushartha, or to shout, or to call, or to give. These are the different meanings of Vasha. Vashikara means the one whose Indriyas are asking the owner, what can I do now? It is exactly opposite of a person who is an ordinary mortal. Our Indriyas ask now, what will you do now? Do as I say. In case of a Sthita Prajna, they are Vashikara. They ask the Master and the Lord, Sir, the eyes come and ask Gurudeva, Gurudeva, what would you like to see? And then Gurudeva would say, God everywhere. And they would say, yes, sir. All the 400,000 whatever are listening to your Yajnashala, all of them are God. Now the Indriyas are not going to bring in impulses of their choice. They shall be told to bring the impulses as directed by the Lord of the senses. And the Lord of the senses is not the mind, because mind itself is Manha Shasthani Indriyani. That's the sixth organ. So including mind, the Karmendriyas and the Jnanendriyas all together. Kabir Maharaj says, Pacha Pachisa Pakad Mangauji, Shunya Nishana Feraunga, Nirbhaya Nirguna Gunare Gaunga. All the 25 tattvas which operate through these sense organs, they have come. How they have come? Madhusudan Saraswati beautifully explains it. If somebody is under the king's protection, then the dacoits also say that better not to attack this person because king will directly annihilate us. A commoner will be looted by the dacoits, but not the son of a prince, the son of a king. Why? He's under king's protection. Similarly, the one who has realized the self, the Sthita Prajna, being basking in the glory of the Almighty, there is no chance of petty thieves coming and taking him away. That is why Tasya Prajna Pratisthita, settled. The wisdom is settled. Wisdom means functional utilization of intelligence is settled. Not like us, what to do, what not to do, what to do, what not to do. No. No vagaries, no waivers, nothing. Goal clarified, action stratified, strategy finalized, all foes vanquished, no enemy left. What is left is only basking in the bliss of self, enjoying whatever the powers of self have created this universe. And that is why Gurudev says, we have to withdraw from the unhealthy gutters of sensuousness. There's nothing wrong in where the senses, what the senses are doing. The wrong is in where they have gone. An enlightened Brahmin, for the sake of study, walks into the same city towards a temple. An unenlightened soul, heavily debaucherous, profligate in nature, shall walk towards the red light area. The city is same, the person is same, the intellect has given different directions to two different people. Similarly, an ordinary mortal has to withdraw from unhealthy gators of sensuousness to healthy methods of doing so by positive technique of self-perfection. And these two commentaries for these three shlokas, if one has enough an alert nose to sense the fragrance of Gurudeva's personal experience into this, provided our intellect is sharp enough to pick up those hints where Gurudev has not specifically, never expressly, but tacitly, without his own knowledge, have left his footprints in the commentary, which have come from his own personal experiences, where he says, unethical instincts and immoral impulses, down to the level of mere brute, are the result of, mark the words, endless lives spent among sensuous objects during the infinite numbers of different manifestation. Why we are behaving the way we are behaving? That is not because we have behaved in this manner once, but many, 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 many times. The frustration that we get when we are doing our sadhana is that, why is it that I am not like Gurudeva? Why is it that I am not becoming like Gurudeva? Sir, you will not. Because the difficulty and the depth of difficulty indicates how often you have been into the sensuous engagement. If you are not in sensuous engagement so often, you will not be sitting quiet, but will constantly be reciting the name of the Lord. It doesn't happen that way. I constantly recite, but not the name of the Lord, the name of the subjects. And which subjects? We proudly say that I am fond of. I like it very much. For me, this really is, I'm passionate about. All these are stupidities of mine. You can't be passionate about anything in this world except Lord. It's very clear. Why? Everything else is Gurudeva's word. Unhealthy gutters of sensuousness. So there's nothing to feel proud about unhealthy gutters of sensuousness. I love so and so hotels food, what the kind of that Amritsari something they make. What is happening? It's like somebody coming from the worst possible area of the city and trying to say that yesterday I enjoyed. That cannot be the way. And why this is happening, Gurudev has said, because of so many association of so many births. Preeta Purani Karanere Chuga Chuga Kankara Khai. You are a born Rajahamsa, but what is happening? Because of Preeta Purani, many years of births, Chuga Chuga Kankara Khai. You are only eating stone pebbles, not pearls. The Rajahamsa is supposed to be eating pearls, pearls of wisdom for self-realization. And that is why Gurudeva gives a solution. No one with an excessive force controls his indriyas by sheer strength of will, and a sense of abstinence has any chance of flowering until a full-blown spiritual beauty. Gurudeva's final verdict has come. Hukum. It's called ordinance. Ordinance of people of Gurudeva's stature is never questioned, is blindly followed. What is the ordinance? Don't try to indulge too much about your excessive confidence that you can control your indriyas and everything. Focus on the Lord, because that is what is going to help you to win the battle against the sensuous indriyas. Alone battle, you will never succeed. That means simultaneously, sensuousness has to be curbed, but with equal proportion, Lord has to be propitiated. Neither has he ruined his instrument of cognition. If you are a perfect man, a sthita prajna, neither has he ruined his instrument of cognition, nor has he closed down to the arches of knowledge in him. This is typically Gurudeva's footprint of personal experience without mentioning it so. This is called Badhit Anuvrutti in Shastra. That is how Gurudeva said, I love Srikhandam. Anybody would say, how sensuous, he's loving Srikhanda. No, sir. He's enjoying Srikhanda without getting sang of Srikhanda. It's a very difficult exercise. How to remain dry in water. It sounds oxymoron, but it is that way. You have to be in the world, yet you have to be out of the world and behave in the world and should not be in the world. Sounds very contradictory. Sounds paradoxical. However paradoxical, oxymoronish it may sound, it is that way. And that is why we are studying this. The technique to do that, because Sthita Prajna is the one who is expert in that. And who is explaining this? Another Sthita Prajna called Gurudeva is explaining it with his own footprints. So you be in the world. Gurudeva is right there in the world, much more in the world than the way we are. Our capacity also to be in the world is so stupidly limited. Gurudeva full blown into the world. Yet, no friend, no enemies, no association. कबीरा खड़ा बाजार में मांगे सबकी खैर, ना काहू से दोस्ती ना काहू से बैर. That is this shloka. Then how do you remain dry in the water? For that you need to understand, how do you get wet? Get wet is nothing else but a process of downfall. Look at the Christian liturgy. The entire religion of Christianity talks about Adam and his apple. In Islam, it is Adam. It's the same as Adam. What is that apple and who is this Adam? This Adam is the perfect man who became imperfect because of the so-called apple. And because of which then he was ousted from the kingdom of heaven. That in our scripture has been brought down with specifics involved into it. When the Adam means who? Jiva. Who is this Jiva? Me, I am the Jiva. What is my definition as a Jiva? My hand, my feet, my nails? No. My definition as a Jiva is simple. My Buddhi is me. Who are you? Don't tell the name. That is in Vyavahara. In spiritual field, who are you? Buddhi. What type of Buddhi? Varies from person to person. But you are Buddhi. Then how do I recognize you, sir? How tall you are? Don't tell the height. Sir, see my thoughts and you will recognize me. That means my recognition in this world is by my thoughts. And who am I? I am Buddhi. My Buddhi produces thought. And when the thoughts are produced, thought has to be about something. Thought alone doesn't exist. I'm thinking, क्या सोच रहे हो? कुछ नहीं. That's a common answer given in the world. क्या सोच रहे हो? कुछ नहीं, ऐसे ही बैठा हूं. You never sit ऐसे ही. सोच रहे हो मतलब किसी के बारे में सोच रहे हो. Otherwise there's no thought. The definition of thought becomes paralyzed. This thinking is called dhyayate. Dhi. The dhi cannot sit idle because it will keep thinking. And then if it has to think about thinking something means vishaya. So dhyayate vishaya, first step. Moment you think of something, the something starts coming upwards in your brain and starts occupying yourself. This process of occupation or association is called attachment. So far it was lying there, now it is here. In the morning walk, a beautiful lady passed by when I was jogging. She went home. For you, she hasn't gone home. She walked here inside, got attached here. Sangha. Sangasteshu upajayate. Vishay is gone. See, this is the beauty of Vishay. It cheats us. It comes and touches us. The touch remains, the subject goes. So, dhyayate, thinking, leading to object, Vishaya, Vishaya leading to attachment. Now the attachment has come. What happens? I want the attachment again. Every evening, the glass gets filled with a red color liquid. That day's liquid is gone. Next evening, liquid. This is called kama. In simpler words, making the same stupidity again and again. Kama. Now, every day, if you want to do something, you must have a capacity and ability to do that. For example, you want to enjoy life the way you want. When there is a limitation of your capacity, you are not Ishwara. Ishwara has got Aishwarya with you. You are a finite, particulate soul. How much capacity you will have? Even the kings have a limited capacity. Such a great person called Abraham Lincoln, he was suffering from depression. Capacity, limitation. Einstein had a theory of relativity, but could not enjoy a married life. Capacity limitation. And capacity limitation leading to the father of theory of relativity was constantly having bickering fights with the wife at home. What a contrast. The most intellectual person of the century having a fight with the wife at home. How do you reconcile this? Sangha, kama, kama, krodha. Obstacle to the attainment of the same kama. When this happens, then now the working starts. There are obstacles to me, bloody hell, I will act against these obstacles. When you do an effort to achieve something which is futile, it is called moha. A constant endeavor to attain futile things in life is called moha. You do constant endeavor for self-realization, it is not moha, it is sadhana. But a constant endeavor to get happiness out of the objects and subjects and relationships around you, moha. Once moha is there, then the smriti, what smriti? Why am I here? In fact, we have gone so far ahead in our stupid progress that we have even forgotten the very purpose of being here in this world. This is called smriti bhransha. And smriti bhransha, when it happens, then you start coming out with intellectual, ultra-intellectual statements. Statements like, there's nothing like God in this world. Ye jo mangat hai na, my wrist, this is what I have all made for myself. There's nothing afterlife. There's no afterlife in this world. Enjoy. This is called buddhinash. What parents? Parents are parents. What they have done? I mean, everybody, they got married for their pleasure. So I got born. So what is buddhinash? I just keep saying Hari 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 Hari. That is enough. Why Upanishads? What is required? You know, this is all stupidity. This is all some Brahmins created this Upanishads and all we are studying. Buddhinash. I am not harming anybody. So I am leading a very spiritual life. Buddhinash. And Buddhinash means, right in the beginning we said, what is my introduction? Buddhi. And when Buddhi Nash is there, what is my introduction? I don't exist. Pranashati, dead body. This downfall is so pitiful that a Sufi beautifully describes this. That when the Adam came out, it was understandable. निकलना खुल्द से आदम का सुनते आए हैं लेकिन बड़े बेआबरू होके तेरे कूचे से हम निकले. Oh Lord, from your abode, shamelessly I got dropped to this level. That is why with the objects, now the question is, we know the circle. Why the circle has been described? Each step you can exercise the control. Each step. When the object comes in front of you, suddenly you get a desire. Do not covet the desire. There's a beautiful saying of a Sufi, how to deal in this world. मोहब्बत में वो पल सुहाना होता है. मोहब्बत में, in interaction with the objects, वो पल सुहाना होता है जब देखना इबादत है, छूना गुनाह होता है. Enjoy the Lord's world. Eyes are there, see everything. When a lady comes with a beauty, what should come to the mind? How Lord has created the beauty. Look, Devi is in the beauty form. Beauty is a Shakti of the Bhagwan. Beautiful is itself Lord's impression. So if a beautiful lady goes, you must feeling that Mohini, Bhagwan Vishnu. See, look at her hair. Why? Bhagwan has given this beauty. Stones do not appreciate beauty. For beauty appreciation, you require dhi. So see Lord everywhere means see Lord in every form. Ugliness can be appreciated. He has created it. And that is why, to know this technique, instances of unsuccessful seekers, Gurudeva, because it's not an easy thing to do this. Another footprint of Gurudeva. Instances of unsuccessful seekers are also not few. In all of them, the mistake we notice is that they ultimately fell back to be the victims of sense entanglement. This is actually the way Gurudeva must have gone through that enormous resistance. Ratrandina Amma Yuddhasa Prasanga. Gurudeva has gone through that process and succeeded in crossing that ultimate barren barrier full of obstacles. After 40 years of sadhana, a sensuous gratification can bring you back again, while Gurudeva stood by. That is what he has described. That's why he says, a slip from them means total destruction. The same thing Kabir Maharaj says, sadhu kahavat kathin hai, lamba ped kudur. Chadhe to chakhe prem ras, gire to chakna chu. You will be in pieces. That is why Gurudeva says, when we constantly think about, these are golden words of Gurudeva, we must inscribe it forever. When we constantly think of a sense object, the consistency of the thought creates the attachment of an object. Gurudeva has given the solution also. Constantly think about the sense object. So first of all, do not constantly think. Thought may come. Do not constantly means don't chase. Consistency of thought creates attachment. You can use it two ways. Consistency of sensuous object will create attachment. But consistency of thought of Lord will also create attachment. So what you do, like those old telephone operators, they pull the cable from one hole and put it into the other, pull it from the sensuous object and put it into a hole called Hari Hari. That is why Gurudev says, when an individual through wrong channels of thinking becomes attached, then the burning desire, sense of relationship, everything starts. One who is aware of sense objects in this world is supposed to be unaware. One who is unaware of the sense objects in this world is supposed to be aware. So for us, what is awareness or hosh is wrong. For the Sthita Prajna, he is behosh. कोई गुनाह होश से बढ़कर गुनाह नहीं, जो बेहोश हो गया वो बड़ा होशियार था. This is how Gurudeva has given. The commentary has excelled the mantras here. Gurudeva has given the description of asit part. Kim asit? Arjuna's question of Kim asita has been answered. Gurudeva has sprinkled it with the fragrance of his own footprints. If you are able to smell it, there is an enormous amount of enjoyment you get inside. Gives enormous amount of inspiration to act upon it. Constant and consistent thought has to be avoided about the sensuous objects. So first what you do, don't stop thinking. That's not the way. Dhyate vishayan pumsa. So let us not do dhyate. Not possible, sir. So first what you do, your legs have got a habit of walking. So first thing you do is, instead of walking to the pub, walk to the temple. So keep walking. Change the goal, destination. And then think of not walking. So first, think of Lord, leave sensuous objects. Then slowly, 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 don't even think out to Lord also, because you become Lord. Rama hamara hame japere, ham payo vishram. To wait that state, the person of Sthita Prajna, that is why Divya Prabandham, the what can be termed as the highest scripture of Tamil Alvars. In Divya Prabandham, the status of a Sthita Prajna is beautifully described there. How is Sthita Prajna? My pronunciation may go wrong. Balaji Maharaj may correct me. Kokkupol irukkam, like a swan. Swan is in the water, but look at his feathers. There's no water attached to it. Kokkupol irukkam, kodipol irukkam. Kodipol is foul. He selects good things amongst the bad things. Viveka. Kokkupola irukkam, kodipola irukkam, uppupola irukkam. If you do these first two, then you will be like a salt. Same inside, same outside. This is how then you become same as Alvars. Ummaipola irukkam. So this is what enormous amount of meaning those two shlokas are giving it to us. Let us pray to Gurudeva that all our efforts shall go as he has mentioned in the bhashyam of these three shlokas. Hari Om.